and welcome back to our Hangzhou special in the city that Marco Polo was enthralled by and absolutely captivated, and he wrote a lot about in his book. But that was 700 years ago. We've got the new updated version brought to you by foreigners from all across the globe, and they live here in Hangzhou and love it perhaps even more than he does. My name's Zhui. Join me on Travelogue.
Maybe it's not white. Nice to meet you.
Right?
Nice to meet you. Yes. Oh, please come on.
Lovely Italian woman. And this is your daughter?
Yes. Yes.
Zoe. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Zoe.
Zoe. Zoe and Zoe. Zoe and Zoe. Zoe and Zoe.
Ciao, my name is Christina. I come from Italy. I live here in Hangzhou almost by 1 year almost, and with my family, my 2 kids and my husband. I love to stay here, and I love the atmosphere of Hangzhou. When I walk around the lake, or when I just go around to discover new place to see, it's really a big contrast between the modernity and the tradition here. So that is what I like more, as well as the people that I meet every day. Of course, it's not so easy. It's always a challenge with the words, where to learn how to speak is quite impossible. But still is a fantastic journey.
Christina's the 7th on our foreigners living in Hangzhou list, and she suggested we visit the China Academy of Arts Xiangshan campus. It was designed by Wang Shu, who, in 2012, was the first Chinese citizen to win the Pritzker Prize, the world's top architectural award. Christina herself is an architect and relocated to China for work.
When I moved here, everything was strange for me. But then, suddenly, I think I started loving living here in Hangzhou. And it's really always surprised me every day.
So there was a bit of an adjustment period, I suppose?
Of course.
Yeah.
But now, I think it's just you just need to start living here, and then everything becomes very easy. And people are amazing, very, very care. And also, I think I can find everything here.
What's the year been like for you?
It's very fine.
The China Academy of Art is reputed to be the most prestigious and influential fine arts college in China. It was the first art university and first graduate school in the country's history. The more time I spend roaming around campus, the more I think I should have done my 6.5 years of tertiary education here in Hangzhou.
It's completely different from Italy, of course, but it's an amazing place. Always surprise me every day.
Oh, you enjoy the vibe that you get from Hangzhou?
Yes, it's really different.
In what way? Is it more the contrast, like the Oriental and the modern, or?
Because really you can see how fast it's developing in Hangzhou now. But in the meantime, also you can see there's still something from the past, from the tradition is still alive. So that's is something that really I like.
Hopefully we can get up really high as well.
It seems that they fly.
I'm no architect, but I know that I really like this place too. The buildings here are bold yet buoyant and seamlessly balanced with the surroundings. Christina tells me the designs are contemporary reinterpretations of local customs. They're built using conventional Chinese construction methods with modern media like glass and metal, and feature reclaimed materials like old roof tiles, even underfoot. So, do either of you have a tip that you could give foreigners visiting Hangzhou?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Mums always know what to say, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think one tip is if you come to Hangzhou during the summer, you have to remember that it's extremely hot, hot and humid. So maybe the maximum you can dress is just a short clothes or dress in silk.
In silk?
Yes. You can buy here. It's the city of the silk.
Oh, there you go. Speaking of silk, it just so happens that number 8 on our list is the manager at a transnational textile company in the middle of the city's commercial centre. But they produce household fabrics.
Right? Merhaba, this is Gürcan Kaya from Istanbul, Turkey. I have been living in Hangzhou more than 2 years. I have been in different cities around the world, and I had different experiences. But Hangzhou is the one that making me more excited about the city, because Hangzhou is an international city. Meantime, we can experience the Chinese tradition as well. Hangzhou, it's not a small city. Meantime, it's not a mega city like Shanghai and Beijing. So we can find whatever we want as a foreigner, but plus we don't lost ourselves in the city.
Home textiles.
We are doing like window decoration.
Instead of staying in his 28th floor office and helping me pick out dream curtains for my imaginary home, Gretchen decides to take me for a spin.
In Hangzhou, it's very convenient to drive, and it's safe and it's good.
Yeah. The traffic can get pretty bad though, right?
It is. But if you like to drive to city center in rush hours, it may take you like more than 1 hour to go.
Oh, jeez.
But if you go in normal time,
Yeah.
to have some coffee in Shiku,
Yeah.
I think I can go there like in 20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
In many cases, because Chinese people, they have really hospitality, and they love foreigners, they love to be kind, they love to help. So for us, we feel like in paradise in Hangzhou.
Oh, you're special here.
Yeah. If some other drivers see me,
Yeah.
they look me and they look again like
They do a double take, right?
exactly. They don't see much of foreign drivers.
Yeah.
Because in Hangzhou, taxi is very convenient. It's very cheap, and we can find them very quickly.
Yeah.
You don't need to wait for a long time. Plus now with these new applications on mobiles,
Yeah.
with some companies like Uber or some others,
Yeah.
it's
It's
very quick.
convenient,
Yeah, it's very
yeah.
convenient.
We zip around the corner to one of the landmarks in Hangzhou besides the iconic Sihu, or West Lake. Just in case you have a spare few bucks, this gleaming glass sphere is the Intercontinental, not far from the Qiantang River. You could also hire Gretchen to drive you around in his Chinese Rolls Royce.
Thank you so much.
It's been my pleasure.
You're the best personal chauffeur I've ever had.
Thank you.
Oh, before I go though, is there
Yeah.
a tip that you can give to people visiting Hangzhou maybe?
Well, you have been unlucky because you didn't catch by the heavy rains.
Uh-huh.
But Hangzhou is getting really, really cold in winter time.
Ooh.
So for the ones who's coming in winter to Hangzhou, it's better they keep really, really warm clothes with them, and maybe thick blanket.
Thick blankets at night.
Because it's really really cold. You can feel from your bones. You know?
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
See ya, Gretchen.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.
Bye.
Coming up next, I go as international as it gets in Hangzhou, from school carnival to soccer kick around, and then as local as it gets, but with a camera.
Get people together to race and whatever. Hi, my name is Gretchen. I hail from the United States of America. I've been living in Hangzhou with my family for about 2 years now. It's a great place. To tell you the truth, when we found out that we were moving here, we moved here with my husband's work, I knew nothing about China and Hangzhou. I had never even heard of Hangzhou. I didn't even know how to say Hangzhou. I was like, Mom, I'm moving to a place called Hangzhou. That's as much as I knew. Nonetheless, we got here and it was just a culture shock like no other. It's like falling into the rabbit hole and you find yourself in Wonderland. And I think that's why I like Hangzhou so much, because you just never know what to expect. Every day is an adventure, mostly good, some challenging, but the hustle, the bustle, the organized chaos that is day-to-day life on Hangzhou streets is just amazing. I think that's what I like best about it, and I think that's what I'm going to miss most about living here in Hangzhou when we leave. So thank you for listening to me.
More like thank you for giving us 73 seconds of your precious time, Gretchen. Anyway, Hangzhou International School, or HIS, is a co-ed nursery to grade 12 institution, with more than 300 students enrolled from 30 nationalities. What's happening today is a fundraising run, plus all sorts of food, games, and fun.
Gretchen's a full-time mother of 3, and she's also one of the busy organisers of this event, and I'm running around like a headless chook trying to chase after her. Oh, there she is!
we have staff from all over the world, which is just absolutely amazing.
It's like the United Nations,
It's
right?
completely like the United Nations, you know, as you see, like I'm walking from person to person to person, you know, talking to an American, talking to a Colombian, talking to Indians. It's a really, really good feel,
Yeah.
you know, if the rest of the world could be like it is here at HIS.
That's so
It's
cool.
our biggest charity event of the year, and it's basically our last full school event of the year.
Oh, nice.
So.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to keep you any longer.
Okay.
We have so much stuff to do, but yeah, go
Okay.
on and get busy.
Okay, will do. Will do. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
I have to admit, there's a gooey bit of childhood nostalgia bubbling inside me right now. I could almost recreate this school fete back in Sydney in the 90s, except I'd be that gawky, dorky, bespectacled tomboy breaking her buck teeth on gobstoppers. Nowhere nearly as cool as this one.
And here's another running coming in.
Visible, yet often overlooked, the expat population in China is as much part of the social fabric as the citizens, adding flavour and variety to an otherwise largely monocultural nation. Their experiences and the resulting anecdotes reveal additional layers to a city, which, in many instances, would be invisible to outsiders like me. Honestly though, I don't even feel like an outsider anymore, thanks to the foreigners I've met so far, like Gretchen. Right before I leave, I managed to trap the busy bee one last time.
So I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys. I think everything's good now. Another problem solved.
Oh, okay, awesome.
I think it's very important to understand that this, you know, from a Western perspective, is a very different culture. Not bad, not good, it's just very, very different. And so if people are looking to travel in China at larger, in Hangzhou, which I truly believe you need to step back into time and go walk around West Lake and the pagodas and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's definitely worthwhile. To recognize that it's not going to be, you know, 4-star hotels and, you know, room service every night, that you know, you need to be kind of flexible and open-minded and adventurous. Always carry tissue, always carry hand sanitizer, and always carry cash, because a lot of times it won't take anything else.
All right, so bring a backpack full of that stuff and you'll be set for Hangzhou.
Then you're good for Hangzhou.
All right, yeah. Okay, look, I'll let you go.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye, guys. Bye.
Off she goes. Run.
My next stop, another school, but more age-appropriate this time. It's in Xiaosha district, about 30 kilometres northeast of downtown Hangzhou, and it looks like I'll be chasing number 10 around too.
I'm looking for a Roberto. He's from Argentina, and apparently he's on the soccer pitch, but I don't know what he looks like, so... Hello! I think I heard them calling his name. Roberto! Oh, that's him. Ah, Roberto!
Hi everybody. Hola, ¿cómo les va? My name is Roberto. I'm from Argentina and I came to Hangzhou to study. I'm taking a master class in international trade at Zhejiang Gongshan Dashue, and I'm so happy to be here because it's amazing how fast everything is developing in Hangzhou. I think that it was a very good decision for me to come to China to study, and I'm wondering about how to continue staying here after finishing my school, since I really like to be part of this society and trying to do some business in the future.
Why did you choose Hangzhou in the first place?
In fact, in the beginning I was planning to come to maybe Beijing, Shanghai.
Yeah,
it's the
one
most
of the big
popular
cities.
and the big city and the only one that I knew in my country. But I was studying Chinese with a Chinese professor in my country, and she advised me to come to Hangzhou because she told me that it was a small city, but you have all the all the facilities from the big city.
Has it been a good 8 months?
Yeah. I'm studying international trade, so in the future I'm planning to do some business between Latin America and China.
Oh, and Hangzhou is the perfect place for business, isn't it?
Yes, I think so, because it's so close to Shanghai.
Yeah.
So I think it's an amazing place. I can think about the future in China and in Hangzhou.
Located around 160 kilometers southwest of Shanghai, Hangzhou is the political, economic and cultural nucleus of Zhejiang province, not to mention a major tourist destination too. This is very serious talk while I'm mucking around, but it's a different ballgame here. Hangzhou was the capital of the Southern Song dynasty 800 or so years ago, and today it's one of the capitals for investment and entrepreneurship. If it's any indication of the city's business potential, Alibaba's headquarters are here in Hangzhou. I don't think I'd be surprised if everyone on this team had plans to enter Hangzhou's commercial ecosystem. I mean, they certainly have the right attitude.
We scored, we won.
You got 2. 3-2.
We won.
Germany. Big Gates.
Guys is from Congo.
And?
I'm Francis. Casablanca.
Oh, Casablanca. I went to Casablanca too.
Very good. Next time when you come.
Okay. You are just Africa. You are the entire continent. Roberto has a bit of a tip for us, right?
Yeah, I think that you need to know when you visit Hangzhou, you need to visit the whole West Lake, not only downtown.
And you can come all the way to Xiaosha campus, right? And have a kick around with all the uni students.
Yeah,
Yeah?
it's an amazing place too.
Woo!
Back in downtown Hangzhou, I meet victim number 11.
Be careful.
Look at that.
Well, I have a lot of cameras.
Yeah?
Not this one. This one. But you can
Clearly, I
also
haven't
use-
used one of these before. I'm like, what, how do you
No!
do this?
Bonjour. Hello. Well, my name is Jonathan Min-Zhui. I'm French, from France. I'm the director here of the Alliance Française, which is a French cultural center. I lived in 8 different countries before coming here, so I'm quite used to live abroad. But here I really find a good quality of life. I found people very open and friendly. There is a lot of curiosity because I'm a foreigner and we're in a city where there's not so many foreigners. And I don't speak a word of Chinese except a few words that I will not say now because I'm ashamed. But still people are very friendly. Everybody knows me now in the area where I live or where I work. And when I have to ask for something, people are very friendly. They help me. They just give me what they think I'm asking for. So at the end I always get at least not what I want, but something interesting sometimes, especially in the restaurants where I cannot order properly. So that's the funny part of my life here in Hangzhou. What I really like about living here is that I really feel like I'm at home. The life is not so in a rush like in Shanghai, for example. So that's the thing I appreciate really here in Hangzhou.
Jonathan arrived in Hangzhou in September 2014 with his wife and 2 very young children. Today he's taken the morning off work and conscripted me for a casual camera-wielding campaign down a very local lane near his place.
完了以后，把茄子拿一个烤，把肉馅放在里边，然后在锅里边烧，
很好吃的。
哦，是吧？
茄子，法国没有这么吃的吧？
法国没有这么吃的。I love it. I love the locals here.
Thank you very much.
不错。
1956.
1956年的。
这个
啊，对。
这个现在肯定很老。
还比你老，比你们老，老多了。
到古董卖了。
旧的相机就没有看不到。
洗也洗不出来。
Tell him when
洗出来可以洗出来。
when it will be ready, I will come back to show them.
哦，他说，他洗出来的时候就可以回来这里给你们看一下。Yeah？ 他是杭州的，他住这里的。
他是杭州人啊。
对对对，他住这里附近的。I love the locals here. They're so cute, so friendly. I can see why you like coming here.
You see?
Yeah.
It's not so big as a foreign community here.
Yeah.
You know what is funny is when you walk in the streets and you meet someone that you don't know, or even if you don't meet, we're just crossing by like this, and we say hello to each other.
Oh,
Still,
you mean the foreigners, right?
The foreigners. It's like we are in a small village, So
it's a small community.
Yeah. So that's funny.
That's cool. Yeah, it's not like Shanghai or Beijing where every third person is a foreigner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Slight exaggeration, but you get the point, right? Even if these little girls don't.
Alors, qu'est-ce que c'est? Wow.
He's just speaking French to everyone. It's
Qu'est-ce que
awesome.
c'est?
What's your tip, Jonathan?
Well, my tip is really if you want to enjoy the life here in Hangzhou as a young Chinese, you have to buy a smartphone if you don't have one, to download all these apps that ensure you a better life and an easy life. Like for going to the restaurant,
just
finding
paying
taxi,
as well.
paying
Yeah.
We don't have money in our pockets
Exactly.
anymore. We all pay.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, that's crazy here.
And plus, you can take photos with smartphones too. Yay!
Coming up next, time to give my tongue and liver a decent workout. Feeling the burn at a chili cooking competition, and then cooling things down with caipirinha concoctions. It's exceedingly rare that you'll find me conscious at 8 a.m. on a Sunday, but yes, there are exceptions to the rule of weekend sleep-ins.
Hi guys, I'm Katarina from Russia. Привет всем. A few years ago, me and my husband moved to China, and we are very, very excited about Chinese people, Chinese as a country, and food. A few times we have very funny situation with the Chinese food in the Chinese restaurant. There's no pictures, no English, and we have to use our body language and hands and do our best to explain what we like to eat. And the people were always understandable and make some fun of us, but we enjoy. And that's why we like Hangzhou. Lovely, lovely, friendly, fun people. And a few words about the expat community here. We met many people from different countries and make new friends. For example, today we attending some chili cooking competition, and we here to win. That's why I like Hangzhou. Every day is some unexpected adventure.
Katarina's Sloppy Seconds team is one of 24 contending for the Chili Cup. There are 2 categories, traditional Texas style or open style, any spicy dish that isn't chili con carne. It's a family-friendly fundraiser with live music, eating contests and a lucky draw.
You know, Hangzhou isn't just about the West Lake and all the Lonely Planet attractions that you can go to. If you want to get away from all of the crowds, there are lots of community events happening all the time here, like this first ever Hangzhou chili cook-off. And what you need is just some money and a big smile on your face and a belly that's ready for a lot of chili.
God comes first, chili comes second.
Ah, bless Team Ned Flanders. They would definitely have my vote for best dressed if it wasn't for Katarina's crew. And this guy on the right.
That's
You're not going to be looking like this after today, though.
No, it'll be more. It'll be more.
Spicy! Yeah. You made it!
Yeah.
Small expat world indeed. Remember him? One of our 19.
From Lithuania. How long did you say you've been in Hangzhou now?
2.5 years.
You liked it so far?
I love it.
You love it?
I love it.
So that's how you meet all your local friends?
Yes.
When you're shopping?
Shopping, bargain, choosing. It's another adventure. And another adventure is the taxi driving in Hangzhou.
Oh, yes, of course.
Now I'm picking visiting cars from places where I've already been and show them where to go.
Oh, yes,
make
that's
my
a good
life
one.
much
That's
easier.
a good one. Yeah. Good life tip.
If there was ever a statistical study done on the happiness of expats, I get the feeling that the proportion of happy ones in Hangzhou would greatly exceed that of anywhere else in the universe. If you're wondering how visitors, and residents for that matter, find out about similar community events, chances are it's through More Hangzhou, an English language magazine that's distributed for free in public places.
So if I were to ask you to give the audience a tip, what would it be?
Come to Hangzhou, go to Longin Village,
She
eat
loves
your
it that
own
much.
tea, and drink it with your friends.
There you go. You have to do that now.
You know, it actually might be a good idea to wash down all that zing with a glass or three of Hangzhou's famous Longjing green tea. The other option? Boogie, until you're numb. Now, what's the second best beverage to have in Hangzhou after Longjing tea, of course? Nope. Good guess. Not a mojito, but Brazil's national cocktail, the caipirinha. Duh.
Olá, como está? My name is Daniela. I'm from Brazil, and I want to introduce you a little bit of Hangzhou city in the way that foreigners see. I like Hangzhou very much because it's a very beautiful city, very clean and safe. The quality of life here is wonderful. What I love most is the fact that I got so many friends here since I'm living in China for 3.5 years. I hope I can stay in Hangzhou for more few years and know more about the culture, improve my Chinese, and get to know more about this culture that is amazing. And welcome to Hangzhou.
I'm in a student-centric section of town, and Latino shindigs are regularly held here. Tonight's bash is specifically Brazilian themed. Daniela, whose major is in international business and minor is in cocktails and partying, has invited me to come along to get to know her mates.
You know what I love about being an expat in these cities is that you always get to meet new people, no matter what, no matter where. I was like, I just love.
And they're always glad to meet you too. That's just how it works with foreigners in China. And an instant, visible bond is forged.
So I've got some special backstage passes to the bar, and Daniela's going to teach me how to make the famous Brazilian cocktail, right?
Yes,
called caipirinha.
Caipirinha,
Yeah.
yes. True Brazilian alcoholic, lemon, sugar, and ice.
Easy. Oh my gosh.
So
It's
we're gonna put a lot of
The liquor that's used is called cachaça, a distilled spirit made from sugarcane juice, sometimes referred to as Brazilian rum.
We're not even going to measure it. We're just going to pour it right in. Got a straw?
Cheers.
Cheers. Saúde. Salud. Is that how you say it in Portuguese? Saúde. Saúde. Saúde.
Saúde.
Oh.
To be able to teach her some.
Yes, you can teach me some. Have you been living in Hangzhou?
Yeah.
Oh, so if you were to give someone else coming to Hangzhou a tip about Hangzhou, would you have one that you could
Probably
come
just
up
to
with?
give it time, make sure that you can go out and explore Hangzhou for what it is and go and see the different restaurants, the different places in Hangzhou and meet the different people in Hangzhou. So if you stay in your hotel room and don't do anything, then you'll not get to see the great things about Hangzhou.
Because that's not what you did, right? Look at you now.
A Brazilian girlfriend, what else do you want?
If only Marco Polo could watch this updated, animate version of his writings about this city. He'd be roughly 750 years old, plus 1 week, if he joins us next time for part 3 of our Hangzhou special. You should too.